in the first part of this video, basically going to show you how to create a image of yourself or any other object that you want with sort of an invisible background so that you can take it and place it on places. I'm taking a picture of me with a green screen in the background. Green is not actually for this always the best color to use. You can sometimes having just if you don't have any white on you, having a big white background will actually work better than a green screen on this one, but green does work fine. It's just to warn you that this does take quite a bit of work to be able to do this. So and you can use other software, and if you know a way that works better of getting rid of the background, then go ahead and use that. But I'm using Pixlr right now, and I'm going to use basically two different tools: an eraser tool and this little wand here. I forget what you call it, but I'm going to use those as my tools. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select my eraser, and I want there to be a much bigger, I don't want it to be a brush, I actually want to use this really big 200 pixel eraser because I'm going to start off doing some major stuff here. And now if I go to I'm going to try to draw an outline, get pretty close to the body here. That way I don't have to be so concerned about what's outside. Alright, so now I can actually take that eraser and I can erase with the green there as much as I want, but to try to avoid some of that, I'm actually going to select this magic wand here and click on this green here and see if I can get rid of a bunch of this area. Now this is partly what I don't like here, is that it selected part of it and not all of that area. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to increase my tolerance. And by the way, if I do Command Z, it unselects it. Increase my tolerance, bring it up to, let's say 35. Let's see what happens when I click on it now. Selecting quite a bit more. Let's see if I can get even more. Let's say if I increase my tolerance up to 56. Increasing the tolerance basically says I want not just that color green, but ones that are fairly close to it. What I don't want it to do is to go in and to get stuff where I am, but the nice thing is that white is in the row. I wonder if I really crank this up now that I've separated myself with a white, if that will help. Let's go take a look here. Command Z again to unselect. Now if I select it here, see now it goes into me. I definitely don't want that. I don't want it to delete anything from me. So alright, let's try this again. Let's go back and bring that down to about 80. Alright, Command Z, select again. I don't know if this is actually saving any time. The eraser may work better. Actually, that one came out pretty well. I don't seem to have. Now if I delete that, it actually erases almost all of that green outside there. And in fact, if I come in here and select this little area, do it again. So I'm going to bring my tolerance down to about 25. Command Z. Let's go ahead. Actually, at this point, using my big eraser to sort of clean it up is probably the way to go here. I'm going to do this. I think that's going to be a little bit better. So now, let's see. Oh, I need to unselect. Alright, if I go edit. I'm trying to remember how to unselect this whole thing. Image, crop, edit, let's see. So deselect all is Command D. Okay, Control D rather. Alright, so now I'm on my eraser. can go through, get rid of some of this area right here. If I click and then drag, it erases the part. I unclick, it doesn't actually erase anything. Alright, so we've eliminated a lot of that. Now I want to get to the green around me, and once again I'm going to go back. Let's see if I do the tolerance 26, how much of this stuff I can delete here. And it doesn't look like it's getting anything in my body there. Looks pretty good. I can delete that. Okay. Notice that there still are some green parts. I'm going to have to take care of that separately. But basically you can use that tool, and I'm going to go and try to clean it up using smaller and smaller erasers and getting lower and lower tolerance. I'm not going to take up your time on that to show you. You can go ahead and get rid of as much of that green as you can. The little eraser will do it. Sometimes it's a little tedious and takes a little bit of time to do that, but you can certainly get in there and make the image as small as possible. Once I've deleted that, I'll show you how to make the image, the back of it, so it's invisible. So once I've gotten rid of all of the green that I want there, and I want to make an invisible background. By the way, I just cropped the picture. You can basically, if you click on image crop, then you can select it and make it smaller, which is what I did right now. Okay, so now I want to basically make the background of this invisible. In order to do that, I'm going to make another layer. So I click on layer, new layer, and I want this new layer to be actually my background, and right now I have it, I want my layer 0 to move up. Oh, I have to, if it's locked, make sure you double click on it before you do that. And so now I have this this layer as my background here. I'm going to make sure I am still on my layer 0 here. So in my layer 0, I'm going to select this white area and just hit delete. And so now you can see there's sort of this checkerboard background. That's the invisible background. Just be careful, like right underneath my arm here, I can see that there's some white there that is still there that I also want to select. I want that part to be invisible too. I select that and hit delete. And so now everything is deleted out. I have this invisible background to me, and I'm ready to save it. Now I haven't rotated anything yet until now. Now that I want to save it, I want to have myself standing up. So if I click on, I believe it's image, rotate 90 degrees clockwise, and I can stretch it out so I can see a little bit better here. There's my image, and now I'm going to save it. File, save, and this is really important. I don't want to save this as a JPEG. I want to save it as a PNG, which says transparent full quality. And there we go. Okay, so now I have that image saved. I'm no longer going to be using Pixlr. I'm now going to use that Pixlr was nice for cleaning up this photo. Now I'm going to use the mathematical properties, and so some of the stuff you can do in these Photoshop or Pixlr as well. But I'm going to be using GeoGebra because it shows sort of how to do it mathematically a little bit better. But you can use any tool you want when we're doing this. So now I'm going to use GeoGebra to translate objects, which basically means I'm going to make a copy of it in a certain distance and direction away from me. And so if I click on, let's go back to GeoGebra, click on Edit, Insert Image from File. I'm going to pull up some palm trees in here. And it's a little small here, so I'm going to drag this out by grabbing the corner. It's not quite aligned. I notice that my Y values are, the B is -2.6 and my A is -3. So if I go up just a little bit, now they're aligned. Okay. and sometimes I can move the other point if I need to do that one. Okay, now I'm going to insert another image of me, and this one will be my invisible picture of me, and it's probably going to come out really big in this palm tree. It certainly is. So if I grab the corner of it and make myself much smaller by dragging it in, I can also just take my image and move it around a little bit. Let's say I want to be right here. Okay, so there's me standing on the beach. And eventually I'll want to hide those points there, but right now I want to make a copy of me. Now, let's say I wanted to put me a little bit farther in front here, right on the standing on the beach right here. So basically, I'm going to take my image and it's going to move a little bit left, but a little bit down as well on the screen. Now, in order to do that, I want to be on. If I click on, oops, not the angle here. So if I click on this one, which is the reflect one, and translate object by vector, I select that. First of all, I want to select my object that I want to move, and then I actually down here off the picture, I'm going to tell it what to do. I'm basically going to say, hey, if you were starting right here, I would want to move it more left and a little bit down. So there's this is called a vector, and this vector is saying take everything of that image, all of the points in that image, and you're going to move it this far in this direction. And then I go ahead and click. Let's see if that was a good one. Yeah. And sure, it puts me a little bit farther up. So you can use that translate by vector, and you can make many copies of you and come up with be creative, come up with something, some kind of cool way of making copies of yourself, putting them in different places, and use that to create a poster or a postcard or some kind of greeting card. That will be an interesting project to make.